Okay, so it is late and my kids are like asleep in this time that I got to film because it's been a long overdue makeup tutorial. I wanted to share with you ladies a makeup tutorial that I've been doing constantly, especially for the summertime because in Atlanta it is super hot. Like that's the reason why they call it hot Atlanta. But the whole focus is to make our makeup look glowy, but also not make it look too heavy, greasy, oily, where when you go outside, the sun shows how much you put. So last week we went to Manchester City, which was on a Sunday of last week before my birthday, which was on Monday. So happy birthday to me. I wore my makeup, something like this. I went full day, no issues, no creasing. My skin looked beautiful, flawless, no oils. As you can see, yes, my oils are peeping through a little bit, but they look natural compared to it being like greasy and stuff. I wore it for those 7, 8 hours while we were at the stadium and it did not budge. So if you guys really want to create this look, I'm going to give you a little short step. It's super easy to do. So very important before we do this step, make sure that you prep your skin. I had already did this. I'll share with you guys some of my favorite products. Cleanse my face and I use the CeraVe cleanser. I'll probably put it down here so you guys could see. That's the cleanser that I use. Then I go in with my favorite rose petal from Thayer's. This is really good. It has helped my skin a lot. If you haven't seen none of my videos, go and check them out and see the before and after, how my skin changed drastically after I've been using this bottle. Cleanse my face, add toner. I go in with this spray. Let me tell y'all, if y'all are trying to buy the Rhode Mist, don't get me wrong, I love Rhode products, but if you really want a glowy skin, but you want your makeup to last, especially in the heat, this is going to be your best friend. Evian. This is the facial spray. Not only does this give you a glow, when I tell you it's like ice water to your face, like it's almost like your skin is drinking water because it's absorbing everything and it's moisturizing your skin and make skin feel super refreshed. This is a highly recommended. We will be using this in the tutorial. This is my ceramide Cos RX. This is the skin barrier moisturizer. This has saved my skin so much. I use this every single day. Sometimes I do it once a week, but then I try to bump it up and I sometimes use it whenever I need it. Help my skin so much. Really good. And last but not least, I go in with this CeraVe. This is the eye repair cream. When I tell you that this cream has been my best friend, I've tried this. They had sent me this in PR and I tried it out for the very first time. I'm obsessed. There was other eye creams that always burn my eyes and never like gave me any type of moisture under my eyes. Always creased. My makeup just didn't look good. My concealer just started creasing more and more and more with other eye products, but this one doesn't. This one actually moisturizes my skin super good under my eyes and it doesn't burn. So if you are a irritated girly like me, especially in your eyes, highly recommend this. Okay, so I don't have any corrector. I've been wanting to try out some correctors lately, but in the meantime, we're going to skip that step and we're just going to use two of my favorite drugstore concealers, and that is the Maybelline Age Rewind Erasers. I have shade 141 and 130. Now, they are a little bit light for me. I do have to get darker shades, but whenever they don't mix well, I always go in with my Dior. This one is in the shade, I think, 4WO, and this one really does help. But if you're going to use a high-end concealer, I highly recommend, especially if you're going to be outside, make sure you set this really well and please spray your face before you go in and start blending this because it will crease if you don't set your eyes. To add a little bit of 140 under my eyes, just like that. And I don't do too much. I just simply just go in where I have like my problematic areas, but I like to still leave my skin natural as possible. So if I see any blemishes, I will correct it, but not so much. And then I go in with a lighter shade because I like to mix both of them, and that up and out where my brow bone is, and tackle that, and that's about it. The next step you're going to use, take out your Evian spray or whatever facial spray you had, and this is the time to start spraying. I know, trust me. So you go and you give it a good sprint, and you leave it on for about 10 seconds, maybe more, until everything is set, and then you start blending. I don't have no mirror, so I'm gonna look at my camera. So I like to use brushes. I also love to use beauty blenders, but in this case, something to smooth out easily, then you can use a brush. I could show you the difference on how a brush and a sponge does. And as y'all see, like once I set the facial spray, look how my skin just automatically, like my concealer just melt into under eyes and my whole skin, and it just looks natural, like nothing crazy. I am combination skin, and whenever I get oily, it's bad. I like to make sure that I control that. I don't know if they really sponsor me that much, but I do like some of her products, EXO Cosmetics. If you guys are seeing this, sponsor me. I do like your products. Use this sponge. I really do like Yvette's sponge. It kind of curves into the eye pretty well. So I'm going to use the flat side and I'm going to simply just go in. And I take my time when I blend because you really want the concealer to blend in really well. And as y'all could see the difference on how this brush looked, it's way different. I prefer the brush, but whenever I'm like in a hurry or my husband is like rushing me, sponge is the way to go. I'm gonna go with 141 one more time down because like I said, I'm very extra, and this time I'm gonna use the brush. I only used a little bit just to cover up this side because I do have a lot of darkness, and since I don't have any corrector at the moment, I would normally use my Dior concealer, but I didn't use it for that day, so I'm trying to keep everything drugstore related, creasing and darkness. If you have dark circles, highly recommend a corrector or something brightening. If not, you can do this technique and it'll still look good. It's always good to still show your natural flaws, your natural darkness. Show off your beauty, like your under eyes. Like there's nothing wrong to have a little bit of darkness. Usually I set my concealer instantly with powder, but I've been doing this backwards because I feel like it's been working for me better than me doing it the other way around. It just doesn't work out. So I'm gonna do cream blush first, and then I do powder after. So I'm gonna be using the ColourPop stick. This is in the shade Cottage Life. I love this. This was actually my first purchase and I was obsessed with it. I know that there's some other brands that just came out with some cream blushes and I do want to try them out, but at the same time I'm like, do I really want to spend that much? This is as much as I put for my blush. I know it looks crazy, but trust the process. It'll all work out. So now I'm going to use this little technique. It's the 200 brush. You can use this brush for contour, powder, blush, but I've been using this as a blush, and believe it or not, I love how it looks on my skin and how it applies because the sponge sometimes brushes off my blush and it doesn't show off, and I don't like that. I've tried it with the Rode, with this brush and many other brushes, and girl, when I tell you that it erased my blush from my makeup, I was so disappointed. I was like, wait a minute, this shouldn't be doing that, but it did. So if I were you, if you're going to use a high-end blush, especially Rode, make sure you use your fingers first. I like to apply some blush right on the side of my brow. And I like to use my blushes too as like a contour because I don't know, it just gives sunburnt look and I love it. I had to bring it up a little bit where my concealer is so it blends in. You're gonna hate me, but trust the process. Trust. We're gonna go in again.
So what I was trying to say is that we need to
make sure this is
set our
good.
makeup one more time with the Evian spray, but I can't guarantee you that we won't be continuing to set our face, because if you really want makeup to last, especially during this heat, you have to set your makeup good. Now I'm only going to use a little bit of powder, so I'm going to use my drugstore Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 230 just to cover up some of the concealer that I put on my face. I want to use a light powder, not too heavy, because then it's super noticeable in the sun, and throughout the night you'll start to notice how your skin just feels like it's super heavy, pores, and you don't want that. You just want a soft base. So again, for the 4th time, we used the Evian spray after we used just the little brush that we covered up with powder. And then I like to curl my lashes. Lately, I've been using no mascara, but lash serum. And if you notice, my lashes have been growing and they look super gorgeous because I really haven't been using anything that has been damaging my lashes. Now, if you have small eyes like me,
it's a little bit thick. It looks good. I like it, but I don't want my eyes to be dragging. Like, we want to keep it plain and simple, right? So I'm going to clean up this wing and I'm going to make it very, very fine. So it's like a knife, but it's not. So eyebrow brush. I like to clean this up too. It just makes everything look so, so good. Feel like it messed up your eye, you can always go back and refix it. All right, once that's done, it looks like this. Now for the next step. If y'all want to dupe
so once again,
blush,
my audio cuts off.
Blush, but it's
so what I was trying to say is that this blush that I am using is really affordable. You can get this off of Steve Laurent Beauty. It's almost identical to the Dior blush. I know because I used to have one, and I love how pink it is, but it's not so pigmented, but it looks really pretty on the skin. Now the next step, this is extra if you want. You don't necessarily need this, but I love me a good highlight. And since I was gifted this by Fee because I collab with them, I wanted to use this in my tutorial because I did use this during the time that I went to the game and it looked really pretty. And I promise we're almost done with the makeup tutorial. I'm explaining how, you know how all the girlies tell you their lip combo and they show you what they use, but they don't really tell you how many lip liners they use. So I ain't gatekeeping for you guys. I do use 2 lip liners that gives me this pretty brown lip combo. So the first lip liner I use is the Refi Beauty lip liner in the shade Fawn. This has always been an OG of mine, and I really love how pigmented and how long lasting the lip liner lasts. My bad if you hear my dryer. So the next lip liner that I use is the Makeup by Mario Spice Chai. I love using this over top. I don't know what it was, but that day that I wore these 2 combos, like I knew that I had so many eyes on me and it really stand out with my makeup. So this is something that I really enjoyed, and the brush is super convenient. And yeah, I think that was really smart of Mario to make a double-sided lip liner with the brush. Girls, I hate the fact that my audio cut off, but we will not finish off the look without me telling you that this ColorGram lip tint I am obsessed with. Like, they're a Korean brand, but when I tell you I found the greatest mousse ever that has matched all of my lip combos, like I kid you not, this is the perfect suede tint ever, and y'all should try it out. And yes, finally, we are going to set our face one last time with the Evian spray or whatever spray you have that you are loving. After everything is done, this is the final look. I hope y'all love how well this performed, and let me know down in the comments if this has helped. Also, by the way, comment down and let me know if this technique has helped you in any shape or way. I couldn't finish off the video, so it was cut short because of my audio, but I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that bell for every time I upload a new video.